Hello, and welcome to another video. Here we are, we're going to be talking about what things do you need to change or reevaluate in your financial plan now that you just had a new baby, or maybe you are expecting to have a new baby pretty soon. All right, so we're going to go through this financial checklist together just to give you a clear idea of the things that you need to be reevaluating, thinking about, discussing now that, everything in your life has changed. So congratulations, first and foremost, on adding a new little one to your family and continuing to grow your family. I'm sure you're just so excited right now and maybe a little stressed out, overwhelmed as well. So hopefully this can be valuable in just bringing you that clarity and peace of mind that you need to make the right financial decisions, along with all the other decisions that you're already having to weigh and make now that you have a little one here. All right, so thank you for clicking on this video. You probably clicked because you're expecting a baby soon, or maybe you just had one. So hopefully I can just make your life a little bit easier and help you understand the things that change now, specifically related to your finances. Okay, so growing your family is one of the few events that require you to reevaluate your entire financial plan. Okay, so we made this checklist for you to make this as stress-free as possible and just give you that clarity on what do we need to be thinking about, what changes need to be made, and how can we think through these different scenarios, options, etc., to set ourselves and our family up for success. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in here. First and foremost, we want to review our monthly cash flow and adjust for new expenses. Obviously, we can't predict everything that's going to change in our financial life, but we can make some, some forecasts, if you will, and some assumptions on what's going to change, and then we can continue to adjust as we go. We're not going to have it all figured out. We're not going to have all the numbers, super dialed in, clear and specific, and it's going to go exactly as planned. You know that already by now, but it's good to go into, our future with a plan that then we can adjust and, kind of realign as we need to. So it's important to review your cash flow prior to, having your new baby, and then see what's going to change in the future. Project out into the future. Okay, I'm probably going to spend more on groceries. Maybe we need to buy clothes or furniture, or maybe we need to be thinking about getting a new place, a bigger place, now that our family is growing. Whatever it may be, it's going to change your monthly cash flow, and so you want to make sure that you understand and are prepared for what those changes are going to look like, and give yourself a foundation that you're able to make adjustments on as you go, and you're not just kind of wandering through the unknown. That's only going to lead to additional overwhelm and stress that you just don't need during this season. You know that better than I do because you are currently in it. Okay, so review your monthly cash flow and adjust for new expenses and understand how things are going to change now that you've added a new little one. Okay. Point number 2, do you need to increase your emergency savings? You most likely do. Adding a new one to the family can just increase the chance or likelihood of emergencies or unexpected expenses popping up. Okay, so we're not going to be able to plan for absolutely everything that's going to happen. So how we can do that is just be prepared with the amount of emergency savings or cash on hand that we have to be able to, calmly navigate these unexpected situations that would typically throw us off the rails or cause us stress. Okay, so emergency savings, I like to say, turns emergencies into minor inconveniences. Once you have the money to easily pay for whatever the solution is, get whatever you need in that situation, it makes it just a little easier to navigate. Okay, so you most likely do need to increase your emergency savings because your expenses are going to be going up, and the potential for emergencies is greater now. With your growing family. Okay, so third thing you want to think about is updating and drafting your estate plan to include your new child. If you don't have an estate plan already, you'll definitely want to get one in place, or if you do, you want to update that to reflect the changes now in your family. Okay, so the 3 main questions that a basic estate plan answers for you and what you want to get in place is what's going to happen with my assets, who will be the guardian of my children if something happens to both my spouse and I. And then number 3, who can make decisions on my behalf if I can no longer make decisions for myself? Okay, so those are 3 very important questions that you would like to make before something happens, before you're thrown into a situation completely unprepared and someone else is making these decisions for you. You don't want the court deciding who's going to be the guardian of your children if you unexpectedly pass away. Okay, so it's important to get a basic estate plan in place so that it's very clear on what's going to happen if the unexpected happens. Okay, so make sure that you get that drafted, get that updated so that you're able to kind of make these decisions for your future self if, terrible circumstances arise. All right. And on that note, we also, 4th item here, we want to acquire life insurance or increase your current death benefit if needed. So if you didn't have any kids, there's a decent chance that you didn't have any life insurance and probably didn't need it. But now that you do have a baby, you want to make sure that they will be taken care of in the event that you pass away. So they're depending on your income. Your spouse may be depending on your income, and if you were to pass away, that income is no longer coming in. So what expenses would need to be covered, and how long would those expenses need to be covered for them to be able to adjust to their new life without you? And you'll know that they are provided for and they are safe, and they don't have to at least worry about the finances and deal with that while they're grieving, just traumatic loss. Okay, so you want to make sure you get a life insurance in place or increase the current death benefit if needed to make sure that they are taken care of if they are depending solely on your income. Okay, and then 5th thing we'll want to look at is adding your child to your health insurance as a covered individual and also updating the coverage if needed. So you want to make sure that you add them to the policy. And if you need to make any changes, now that you have these new circumstances, now is the time. Having a child is a qualifying event for making changes to your health insurance policies. So, take advantage of that if you need to and make those changes to your coverage. Next thing, update your W-4 tax withholdings or add the child tax credit to tax projections if you're a business owner. So when you start working at a new employer, they hand you a W-4 to fill out, and that helps them determine how much they're going to withhold from your paycheck to send over to the government to pay for your taxes. Okay, so you'll want to update that now that you do have a child, because this will most likely lower your taxes, or it should, and you'll receive more on your monthly paycheck than you did before. So you want to update this because you probably need the cash flow in this season with all of these changes happening and potential unexpected things popping up, expenses rising, all of those things that come with having a new baby. Okay, and if you're a business owner, it'll be nice to add that child tax credit into your tax projection. See that chunk come off of your tax bill. That'll be great. So you'll want to just update your tax situation to understand how things are going to change after this. All right, and then we want to consider investment accounts for the child. Maybe it's a 529 or custodial account or something else, whatever it may be. You're just thinking about, okay, now that I have this baby, are there any investment goals that I want to establish or change to make sure that they are set up for success? Whether that's wanting to pay for their college education, or maybe you just want to give them a lump sum at 18 to give them a boost, or maybe start a business, or whatever it may look like. You'll want to just think about these different goals and make sure that you are planning ahead if you want to be able to provide for them. Okay, so maybe it's buying them a car at 16. You want to just start setting some money aside for that so it can grow over time and be there when you need it. Or maybe it's paying for the wedding, way down the road, whatever that looks like. You'll just want to think through these different investment account options and investment goal considerations that you have now that they are here. Okay, and then this kind of goes hand in hand. We'll want to review / update our financial goals in case our priorities have changed. Maybe you're renting right now and you want to buy a house, plant some roots and really establish your family. Okay, maybe that's something that you didn't have a goal to do before, but now you do, and it's a high priority for you. Maybe you just need a bigger place or a new reliable vehicle or something else. Any other financial goals that may pop up. Maybe you don't live close to family and you want to travel to see them more, so that they can support you guys in this season of having a young baby, and build that relationship. Who knows what it may be for you, but just review and update your current financial goals so that you can be clear on, okay, priorities have changed. Here's what we want to make sure we accomplish now, and we can adjust whatever is necessary to make those happen. Okay. Next thing, add them as an authorized user to your credit cards. This is an easy hack to be able to build their credit history even before they ever need to apply for credit. Okay, so, like myself, at 18, I had to go out and establish my own credit and kind of start my journey at that point. But if my parents would have added me as authorized users to their credit cards, I could have had credit history established and a good credit score right out of the gate. Okay, so this is a hack that can definitely set them up for success, cause them to pay less interest, get approved for, a mortgage, car loan, student loans, whatever it may be, and be able to make the moves that they need to make whenever they are getting started in their financial life. Okay, so you may be able to add them right away as soon as they're born. As a baby, you may have to wait until teenage years. Different banks, different credit card companies have different rules as far as when you can add them as authorized users and whether or not they report that to the credit reporting agencies. So you'll just want to look into that for your bank and credit card company and make that change if you can. Obviously, you don't want to do this if your credit is not in a good place, because then that's going to hurt them and set them up for failure. Okay, so if you have good credit, you have good habits, this can be good to do. If you don't, I would hold off on this until you get things figured out. Okay. Next thing, consider acquiring disability insurance or increasing coverage. All right. So, we talked about life insurance. That's making sure their financial needs are provided for if you pass away. But this is, okay, you're disabled. You can't do the same work that you're doing now, or maybe you can't work at all. So you want to make sure that at least a portion or maybe the full amount of your income is replaced in that scenario where you're not able to work or you're not able to do the same work to earn, as much as you were before. Okay, so you're still alive. You still need to be taking care of yourself, but you're also not able to provide for your loved ones. So disability insurance can be very important to look into, and if you have the ability to do it, we would definitely highly recommend that, or increasing the coverage if you already have it, and it's not necessarily sufficient now that things have changed. Okay, so look into, if you're an employee, you can look into your employer benefits to see if they already provide some short-term, long-term disability insurance. They may provide short-term for you, and you may need to just get a long-term disability insurance policy just in case, it's not just a short-term thing that happens. If it is a long-term issue, you'll be covered and your family will be taken care of. Okay, so review employer benefits for unlocked options. Kind of goes hand in hand here to this next one. But now that you have a baby here, some things that weren't applicable to you before may be applicable now. So you want to look into that. Maybe it's contributing to an FSA account or an HSA account, to help save some money on taxes and health related expenses, whatever it may be. There may just be some things that you overlooked before that now can really help you in this season of life. So just look through things, see what you may be able to utilize. One thing I'll point out, oftentimes in the employer benefits, they will actually pay for you to work with a lawyer to draft an estate plan or a will. So you could get that paid for through your employer, and also knock out this item on the checklist fairly easily, with the guidance of a professional, and not have to pay for that yourself. So something to look out for that may be offered for you. All right, store your child's birth certificate and social security number safely. Obviously you want to continue to have, this information for the long haul, and you want to keep it from being destroyed or damaged, if something were to happen or lost. Okay, next thing, last but not least, consider consulting with a professional for additional clarity / peace. You're probably saying, of course he's going to put this in there. But I wouldn't say it if I didn't think the ROI was there. Obviously this is a stressful time. A lot of things are changing, and it can just be helpful to talk with someone who does this 24/7, who already helps people through these situations, have these conversations, help you see any blind spots or bring up any considerations that you didn't even know to think about in your situation, and just help you set yourself and your family up for success. Okay, so this can give you that additional clarity and peace. At least my firm, we offer an ongoing service relationship. We offer kind of a one-time plan relationship, and even some hourly consultations. So it doesn't have to be a huge financial commitment to do this. And then you can, just have that clarity and peace of mind, which is really priceless in this time. I'm sure you're feeling overwhelmed, stressed, all this stuff if you do have a new baby right now. So it can be helpful just to reach out to someone who does this all the time and has experienced, all of these different things, and can help make this easy for you. And also, one overlooked benefit is holding you accountable. Okay, so these things can easily fall to the back burner just as the busyness and stress of life continues to add up. So having someone checking in, helping you complete these items that are super, super important, but they can just fall out of sight, out of mind, kind of, just can be super beneficial in case things happen, or just helping you reach the goals and realize the life that you want to provide for your family. All right, so congratulations again on your new baby, or maybe you're expecting to have one soon. It's an exciting time, and hopefully this just gives you some clarity and offers you value in this season, so that you can see, okay, here's what we need to be thinking about. Here are the conversations we need to be having, and the things we need to be checking off to make sure that we've got all of our I's dotted and T's crossed in this season. All right, if you have any questions, feel free to add a comment or reply wherever you're watching this. I'll be happy to answer any and all questions that you have. And if you're interested in talking with me to see if there is any fit to helping you right now in this season with these financial things, don't hesitate to go to our website, strongwealth.net. Schedule a free call. We can talk it through. If you're fit, great. If not, I'll be honest with you, and I can refer you to someone who might be. Okay, so thank you for watching. Hopefully this helped, and I'll talk to you soon in the next video.